So people in the back, can you please grab your snack and join us so we could start? Okay. I know that everyone is tired. I know it's been a long day, but we're saving the best for the last. And the best are our young innovators. In case you don't have any idea about the young innovators and how do they get into the competition, it's an open competition that is different from the WSA's process of nomination, and it is only for the young people who are under the age of 26. And don't look at me, I'm not the one who said that age. So we have 3 brilliant innovators who have actually shown a great sense of responsibility. I'm personally amazed to see someone young having a high sense of responsibility to society and particularly to young children. So I would like to start with Skooks from Nigeria, which is a platform for e-learning, giving technical courses to African children, that is to prepare them for the next generation. But we start with you want to start with Ilum? I thought I could choose. So we start with Ilum. Ilum is actually an app that provides language education that helps refugees and asylum seekers to merge and to collaborate with their society. So it is from Belgium, and their motto is integration through language education. Ilum, the stage is yours.
All right. Hola, hello, and assalamu alaikum, everybody. In the world we live in right now, where more than 100 million people are forced to leave their houses, their lives are uprooted by persecution, conflicts, and climate emergencies. But there's a silent barrier that stands before them, which is language barriers, which stifles their hopes of having a better and a brighter future. So I'm 18 years old, my name is Sagar, and I'm here with a burning mission in my heart. I present Ilum to you. Ilum is the language learning app created by refugees for refugees. And the main purpose is to provide tailored content for the needs of asylum seekers and refugees, so they can break and shatter the shackles of silence they bear when they're forced to leave their home countries. And I'll just get to it. Ilum is language app which helps with social integrations and starts to get the newcomers to stay, actually. So we have a lot of features that distinct us from a lot of apps, which is Ilum. Firstly, Ilum Curriculum, which is we provide tailored curriculums for asylum seekers and refugees, which is through stories and conversations to empower them to be able to integrate into society and have daily conversations with them. Then we have Ilum Map, which provides, it's all free of internet, which provides instant phrases. For example, going to the bank and filling in documentations, or working in a location, or going to have some bus rides or whatever. And then we have Ilum Gamification, which makes it all fun. We all know that, half of you have kids. And then we have Ilum Exchange, where students, teachers, and refugees and asylum seekers can connect with each other, share stories from their locations, and get to know each other and communicate with themselves. What really, okay, this decided not to work. Hello, help, can I get this paused? Like, oh, it's back. Can I, what? Thank you. Oh, so what really defines us and separates us from a lot of language apps that you probably heard of is our ethos, which is created by refugees for refugees. Every single solution and the feature of the app is designed with consultation of our huge refugee and asylum seekers community. And once we have created it, we get constant user feedback in order to make it more engaging, make it more impactful, and in order to help them integrate. And now, I'll talk a little bit about myself. Why me? I have personally walked in the shoes of refugees. When I was 4 years old, my parents migrated to the UK in order to work and feed the family, leaving me and my siblings with extended family in Pakistan. But when I arrived here 3 years ago, in order to,
Time is up.
I had time. No, but like,
Time is
can I
up.
finish my story? Okay. Somebody ask me about my story, please. Thank you. There we go.
Okay. Good strategy.
Thank you.
So we have lots of hands, and where are the mics? We start here.
He asked me about my story, so I have time to talk about it. Okay, I'll start again. I was left in Pakistan when my parents decided to move to the UK in order to work and provide for the family from a local village in Pakistan, in Punjab. A tradition family, didn't know how to read and write, and now luckily we came to UK in 2013, 13 years, like when I was 13 years old, and then I started a school. I couldn't greet people. I couldn't say hello, hola, assalamu alaikum, none of that. I couldn't speak the language. But when I started school, it became even more difficult. I couldn't ask people, where to get food from. Can I call my mom? Can I go to toilet? And that is the reason why we want to help make this world a better place in order to lessen the struggles that people have in order to integrate into their new home countries and societies. That's me.
Thank you.
Good one.
Thank you.
I am a refugee, so I totally understand that. I come from Cyprus. So what the most of your users, from all these modules that you have, what is the one that stands out?
Okay, so our main and initial one was the Island map, which is free of internet, and it provides all the necessary information that you need, being it ordering food, going to the bus stop, filling in documentation, or talking to anyone. So, and it's free of internet. That's, I think, one of the things that really stands out. But for a little bit longer term, we have the curriculum, which really empowers them in order to have proper conversations and communication with any country they're in. We have translated it into 8 languages already. We have translators from 30 different countries. We're hoping to add all of them in our app.
How do you spread the word? How do you finance it? And how do you get to the people? Are they in shelters, in homes? Is it word of mouth? How do you do it?
It's a fantastic question right here. So how I'm going to answer this is that thank you so much, WSA, for hosting us and choosing us as the winners. So I've already made 11 more friends here who are going to help us with this. So how we fund and source ourselves, we apply to grants and recognitions and nominations like this one. Recently, 2 weeks ago, we won the 2023 Charlemagne Prize with the presence of, President Zelensky was there and a bunch of European people. That was 7,500. And we won multiple grants, UWC Lighthouse Award, MIT Solved. We're a very voluntary-based, everything is voluntary-based, but we do try to provide employment opportunities to refugees, especially if they're able to translate for us or create content and empower them. And so they can also provide us sort of a freelancing platform for artwork, for translations, and all the rest of it. And how do we reach them? So we reach them through events like this. We get to know people like this, like you and DP Guy at the back. We're here to look for connections to refugees and asylum seekers and their camps, so we can really talk to them and in order to help them. And then the final one is that what we want to do is that we want to show them what it is really outside the confinities of the refugee camp in order to have a brighter future and live a life.
Any more questions? There, please. I guess that's our last question.
Hello. Hi, I'm here.
Here.
To your
Here.
left. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
So,
That's my pitch mentor on God. Okay.
oh, no, please. Okay. So, how does this app differentiate from other existing apps that are language-driven and also some others built by refugees? How does this differentiate from them?
Okay. There are a lot of factors that really differentiate from more than 303 language applications that are out there. First, I mentioned it's completely created by refugees for refugees. We have a very wide team, but it's completely consulted with refugees and in their understanding, and we work with psychologists and all the CEFR language curriculum in order to make a curriculum which is really tailored for refugees and their needs. And then what differentiates us is the fact that we provide the necessity and the education that you really need in order to integrate. Like I'm gonna criticize Duolingo. I don't need to know what is a spoon and what is a water bottle when I go to a new country. I need to know, like, how do I talk to people? Which documentation do I need to sign? You know what I mean? And that's one thing. Our content, which is tailored specifically for refugees and asylum seekers, and the migrant workers, and the people who migrate for any reason, be it persecution, conflict, emergencies, and there are a million more. It's a dark world. Thank you.
Thank you. And now the next young innovator is coming from Lebanon. The Volunteer Circle. It is a platform that enables volunteering. The motto is making volunteering easy and effective.
Okay. Is it
Are you
easier
okay?
to use this or
Yes.
the mic? Okay.
Now,
Once upon a time, volunteering was trapped in inefficiencies and misconceptions. It was treated as a charity activity, and so its processes were completely overlooked. Organizations struggled with skills mismatch, fulfilling last-minute requests, and screening an irrelevant countless number of applications. And even after successfully onboarding volunteers, mobilizing them effectively proved to be costly and draining of precious time, effort, and donor money. Every day, this problem spilled over onto individuals who want to make an impact, but don't know how or where to start, resulting in very bizarre skills mismatches. Can you imagine a carpenter ending up at a dog shelter? Until one day, the Volunteer Circle emerged as a solution to revolutionize volunteering into a self-sustainable, accessible on-demand, and well-managed vehicle that drives tangible impact on our economy, contributing to all SDGs, specifically SDG 7 and 8 and 17. So what sets us apart and what makes our growing movement scalable? Our smart skill matching and smart skill matching platform that's available publicly on the volunteercircle.com and centralized marketplace, which allow us to match volunteers to the opportunities that need them the most almost immediately, while offering services that contribute to our financial sustainability. So as a volunteer, after joining the Volunteer Circle, completing 40 skilled volunteer hours, we can start matching you to jobs. You benefit from our point system, and we measure volunteer impact on your well-being, employability, entrepreneurial trajectory, and job creation. As an organization, joining the Volunteer Circle means we provide you for the A to Z suite of volunteer management tools, and you measure the transformative effect of volunteerism on your mission in terms of lives touched, costs saved, jobs created, environmental impact. Our business model has 3 active revenue streams. Number 1, subscriptions, targeting any entity that needs volunteers. We provide skilled volunteers on demand, and so it's like you're outsourcing your volunteer needs to always guarantee you have the right volunteers at the right time. We also have the capacity building through our Volunteer Leadership Masterclass course and talent matching service, where we connect our volunteers to jobs. In the past 3 years, we've facilitated more than 8,000 volunteer matches between 10,000 volunteers and 300 partner organizations, touching 1 million lives and saving $3 million in costs, and it doesn't stop here. We've facilitated 81 jobs, not only in the private sector, but also not only in the NGO sector, but also in the private sphere. And we're in high growth phase, which means we're determined to leave nobody behind. And we're harnessing the power of technology to bring a platform and volunteers on demand to all of our solutions here today. So join us in making our dream a reality and bringing the volunteer circle to every country in the world.
So we open the floor for questions. I'm starting with you because you couldn't ask questions enough today.
Thank you very much. So I would like to ask if volunteers are acknowledged somehow. Is there any kind of achievement? Yeah. So I would like to ask if volunteers are acknowledged somehow through the platform. Is there any kind of achievement, gamification going on?
Yes, exactly. You nailed it. So the volunteers volunteer their hours, share their time and skills, and they benefit from our point system. So they level up through their levels, and every level gives them like unlocked rewards, whether it's transportation for free or like traveling abroad or internships or job opportunities. Plus, we also have the certificates and a lot of benefits and incentives that facilitate their missions at hassle-free, so they don't have to worry about how to get to a place or how they're going to eat or what they're going to spend.
Connor?
Yeah, so I snuck a peek at your traction slide just as you presented, and I saw that you started in 2019.
Yeah.
First of all, I love the product. I think it's a really great platform. It does great work. But I see 81 volunteers.
No.
Did I understand it incorrectly?
I think, yes. So we started in 2019. Our volunteer community counts more than 10,000 volunteers.
Okay, that
but
makes
only in the last year, we've matched, out of these 10,000, we've started matching volunteers to jobs.
Got
so
it.
81 volunteers
Thank you.
to jobs.
Appreciate it.
We'll go with Tanya, and then... Yes.
Okay, so my social enterprise is a pretty big volunteer section. It's about 400 or 500 volunteers. What I experienced, what we've learned is volunteers want to be with an organization that they want to volunteer for. So how do you tackle the generic volunteer business? Do you do white label? Do you provide for organizations? That I don't understand, because volunteers don't want to just do the thing they're volunteering, they want to know who they're volunteering for, in my experience.
Definitely. And nowadays, it's no longer the traditional way of volunteering where we go knock on doors and just, do you have a volunteer opportunity? And we don't want to volunteer with one organization anymore. Through our platform, we can measure how many causes volunteers want to contribute to simultaneously, and the average number is 7 to 8 causes simultaneously. Volunteers on the volunteer circle create a profile, and then apply to a specific volunteer opportunity. And the criteria for them to apply, they can apply to any opportunity, but the system won't let them apply unless they match 80%. And so they have a full disclosure of what the opportunity is, what's the impact that they achieve, the before and after that they were going to make, the people they're going to be working with in terms of beneficiaries or other teams, where, how long, etc. And I'm not sure if I answered your question, but a lot of volunteers care a lot about matching to opportunities based on their skills, interest, location, availability. So this is what we're trying to solve. So there is no potential wasted between, or no frustration between organization, supply and demand.
Last two questions.
Here. Yeah, so I think it's very clear how your platform is really helping volunteers. So I wanted to ask then on the other side. So is your platform doing anything to fight, for example, volunteerism, or a lot of volunteer practices that end up being harmful for the populations that are working on? How do you keep this stable, work that is not a one-off thing that then would leave the populations then underserved after?
Definitely. And this is one of the pain points that we tackle. And this is the idea of having a marketplace. You don't only focus on supply or demand. And we make it very volunteer-centric. And because it's very volunteer-centric, we want to protect both parties. And our way to do that is by having first very high standards or very clear standards for organizations upon joining to know that the volunteer activity should be measurable, should account for something that actually is meaningful and should not exploit volunteers, and a list of terms that they have to abide for. And then we have quality assurance and quality control during and after every volunteer opportunity. Actually, I think this is what differentiates us and makes the volunteer circle a safe place for volunteers to thrive and flourish and keep coming back.
Last question withdrawn.
Okay, just building off that really great answer. So you've got standard network challenges, supply, demand, ecosystem. So how do you go about, focused on the Middle East, so from Jordan, but how do you construct that ecosystem? Because those are expensive and hard.
Thank you for recognizing that it's expensive and it's hard. It is, exactly, but we have a business model, and I think this is part of the innovation behind it. Volunteering was purely treated as a charity activity, and nobody really saw before before the volunteer circle that it's a full-time job. And the problem is not with the people. People want to volunteer, or organizations need volunteers, and the need is dire and increasing day by day. The problem is in the process, and this is what we're tackling. We're streamlining the process and designing it in a different way to eliminate as many pain points as possible. And the ecosystem has been growing even in the toughest of times. So if some of you are from the Middle East, they will know that the unemployment rates are really high. However, the way we position volunteerism encourages and invites people to gain experience and to do something even when the unemployment rates are high. When the unemployment rates were high, people were coming and telling us, are you still attracting people? How is the community still growing? And while we're speaking right now, not now, but maybe from the beginning of the picture till now, maybe 20 volunteers joined. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll be honored to repeat what I said, because she's a really remarkable young innovator with a very high sense of responsibility to the young children, teaching them courses in technology. Please welcome Skooks from Nigeria.
Hello, everyone. What if I told you that 67% of jobs has changed with the coming of technology? But one thing that has not changed in my country is our education system. Hence, 160 million kids might be unfit for the job ecosystem in the next 10 years, tripling the unemployment rate. Now, do we want that? No. With a population of about 21.7 million unemployed youths in Nigeria, and about 79% of the employed saying that they had to go outside of the formal education system to get the skills they needed for the job they desired. What Skooks is trying to solve is to provide access to digital skill courses, as well as mentorship with tech professionals, in order to ensure that our students at a young age are fit to become professionals, even while in school and after school. We target children aged 5 to 18 years in Nigeria through their parents' schools, organizations. We run a freemium model, a subscription model. We also make money through teachers outsourcing, and we organize boot camps, tech clubs, tech outreach, and some other tech innovations back in Nigeria. Meet Iremide. He is a bright young mind with limited access to digital resources, and he dreamt of becoming a software engineer. Now, in underserved communities like that of Middays, 20% of students have access to digital devices and trainings. Now, fast forward, Iremide is now in his second year in the university. He is a product designer working for a firm, and is sponsoring himself through school. Now, that is what we're doing for 10,000 other students, and we've enable them to watch 500,000 hours of courses, 5K mentorship sessions with 40 courses, 20K projects completed, and 10 community outreach in different local governments. We're targeting quality education, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation, and infrastructure. Our next steps is to reach 300 schools in the next year, give offline access to tech courses to enable accessibility and also tech infrastructure. Join us to make every success story and to ensure that young minds can get the jobs they desire, have the skills they want, and have a better future. Thank you very much.
Do I see questions? Can we start with the back, the microphones? Yes.
Thank you for the great presentation. You have a paid business model, and do you also provide services for the students who can't afford to pay your prices?
Great question. Yes, so we run a freemium model, so students who cannot afford to pay for our courses get sponsorship and scholarships to take the courses. Also, we go for outreach. We go to local communities where we take the tech skills and trainings and infrastructures to them in the local communities where they don't have internet, they don't have laptops, and the likes.
We actually have a technical problem. We're missing one microphone. Who has it? Please give it to us.
I just got this one, so this is not the missing one.
Okay,
So
go on.
one more question about accessibility. How do you reach them? When you say you have reach out persons, how many are they? Do you employ them? Are they volunteers? Tell me the numbers again. How many kids do you
Yes, so
reach?
we've reached 10,000 students so far. We have a volunteer network of 97 volunteers that we go for the outreach together. So apart from the outreaches that enable accessibility, there's also the access to the online platform. So what we do is we run campaigns for old laptop donations. For instance, companies that let go of their old laptops to get new ones, we ask them, okay, send us your laptops. We take it to these communities so they have access to trainings.
Who has questions? Go ahead.
Could you talk quickly about completion rates and if it's going well, why is it going well, and if not, why is it not?
Great question. In terms of completion rate, we have students completing about 2 courses each month, right? Because we've broken down those courses to be as simplified as possible since they're children. And also, we made our platform gamified, right, and very interactive. Also, weekends, they have one-on-one instructor sessions, so that enables them to complete their courses. So there's an instructor following up on your assessment, your projects, are they complete or not?
Any more questions? Yes? Who has the following question? Okay. So it's all in here. Okay. Last 3 questions.
Yes, so we had a conversation the other day about this. There's a couple platforms in this space that are doing similar things to you. So what makes yours different?
Good one. Yes, we are not the only one trying to solve tech education for kids, but what we do is we localize the content to the Nigerian students, right? And we ensure that our courses use minimal data, so like we're reducing the megabytes, the size of each video to enable that, okay, with the little speed they have, they can access their content. Yes, so localized content, access to videos that they can relate with on a day-to-day basis.
So just out of curiosity, what made you do this?
Good question. I studied computer science for my first degree, and believe you me, for 4 years, we didn't do coding. We didn't do the major things I needed to get like the tech skills. It was after school in 2018, I did an internship that then introduced me to what technology was. And that was what I used to get a job and all of those things. So I don't want the younger generation to have to go through that.
Good job. Good answer.
So last chance to ask a question. We're good.
Thank you very much.
Very inspiring for sure. I'd like to remind our dear jurors that you can now vote, and we would like to encourage you to continue this dialogue with the young innovators. And please keep in mind that you cannot vote for a project that's coming from your own country. Thank you very much. Odeta, you're taking over.
So while the jurors are voting, I have some good news, some better news, and the best news. So can I ask all the winners who have pitched today to join me here on stage for the good news? While they are coming from all the corners of the venue, the good news is that all of you, everyone who is in the audience, including the winners who pitched yesterday, you have the chance to contribute, to offer help to these amazing entrepreneurs changing the world in the short half an hour-ish mentoring session. So after the winners join me on stage, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on for the good news. Just so that everybody remembers who you are, who you were, and can follow you to your table. So everybody, please join me. Not even sure how many we have here, but winners, please join me. For the better news, after all the winners are here, some kind of program announcements, we still have the workshops that are focused towards the entrepreneurs, so I encourage you to come, but we will talk about the workshops a bit later. We have business modeling, we have fundraising, we have excelling at your PR game, we have impact measuring, which is really applicable for everyone, and also we have a workshop, a roundtable discussion about fostering and scaling the impact and growth of climate ecosystems. So, but more on workshops later. Are we all here now? Are we all here now? So for the best news is that it became a bit more chilly. And actually at the back of the venue, it's even more chilly. So I ask you, the winners now, to kindly take a table, and the whole audience can then follow you and offer you the help. So now that you're here and everybody can see where you're heading to, maybe take a table somewhere towards the end of the venue, because it's kind of like a bit more air. And then please join the winners. Thank you. And just another reminder, after the bus ride from here, all the jurors are going straight to Cartesiano Hotel for an amazing global winners selection. Yay! So we will come back at 5 with the introduction of the workshops. So it's like 20 minutes mentoring so that you can get the conversation started. Somewhere around?